Hello viewers, welcome back to another episode of Sit Down with the Go-Kart Custodian. I remain your humble host, Omoba Ewusi, aka the Go-Kart Custodian. Please make sure you like, share, comment, and if you're new viewer, subscribe. Today I'm just going to be speaking straight from the heart. It's going to be a bit controversial, so I implore you to watch right to the end. Dear brothers and sisters, please sit down and pay attention. As I mentioned about the hatred between blacks, I feel the tension. Allow me to use these words as an expression of the pain I feel every time I switch on the television. See, the black race, we've been through a lot from the inception. We're victims of their deception. We should have known their intentions. But instead of sticking together, it's segregation and separation. It's division and rejection. Blacks killing blacks. Tell me, where is that compassion? Where is that connection? Instead of progression, it's regression. Brothers and sisters, allow me to use these words as an expression of the pain I feel every time we kill each other on the television. See, we've been great. We were building our own civilizations before we were shipped off to work on their plantations. Anyways, today, I'm just going to be speaking about something that's just really close to my heart, and that's the black race. Is like we're always quick to blame everybody else but ourselves, and until we face the truth and we sit down and look ourselves in the eyes and we tell each other, the unspoken truth, then we're never going to evolve as a race. Definitely. We keep on blaming, blaming everybody else but ourselves. We keep on blaming slavery. Agreed, slavery was bad. Our victims, our people were victims of slavery. They came to our land, they robbed us, they stole from us, they stole our peoples, they stole our resources, they killed us, they maimed us, they raped us. All that was bad. But we're doing exactly the same thing to each other. Many centuries, and decades after, after slavery, we're still enslaving each other. We need to speak to ourselves. We need to look ourselves in the eyes and tell ourselves the truth as black people. We're doing more damage and more evil to ourselves than the Europeans ever did, than other people ever did. And that's just the truth. We need to be honest with ourselves. Even, let's go back to slavery. Even before the Europeans came, we were already enslaving ourselves. The black people, the Africans, were active participants in the slave trade. Let's be honest. Let's start from the beginning. Most slaves were victims of inter-ethnic clashes and inter-tribal wars. People, communities raiding each other. Villages raiding villages. Those were the first victims of slavery, and they were captured slaves. Africans were dealing in slaves themselves. They were selling slaves. The biggest empires in African history, they survived, based on, slaves as well. Their wealth was usually contributed to the numbers of slaves they could acquire. Let's face facts. Since everybody always wants to talk about facts over feelings, let's speak straight facts now. Africans were active participants in the slave trade. Don't get me wrong. If you do some history, even in Nigeria, Madam Tinubu, she was a very, very powerful, very wealthy woman who, thrived mostly on the slave trade. she even opposed those who were trying to abolish the slave trade. That goes to show, that Africans, it's like from the start, we blacks, we've always been greedy. We've never loved each other. We've truly never loved each other. We always quick to blame everybody else, but then we never love each other. We don't support each other. We don't embrace each other. It started way before the Europeans came to Africa. And we've not been able to evolve as a people till now. And it's a shame. Because let's face it, we keep on blaming the white man for all our problems. We keep on blaming the Europeans, but many years they've left us to be able to govern ourselves, to be able to, make our own decisions and set our own rules and regulations for us to follow. But what have we done? We've not been able to evolve. It's a shame. It's a shame. Blacks killing blacks every day. There's no love. There's hatred. there's animosity, there's resentment, there's separation, there's segregation, there's division, there's rejection. Where is our compassion, black people? Let's stick together. Let's rise together. Let's stop blaming everybody else. Fine, the Europeans came and they stole from us, but we have to be honest. You know, they didn't all bring all doom and gloom. You know, it wasn't all bad. We learned, we should have learned a few things from them. And they also, you know, don't get me wrong, they also abolished a lot of things that were wrong, you know, with the African traditions and customs. Let's be honest with ourselves. I'll give you an example in Nigeria. Mary Slessor, she was a Scottish nurse, a missionary. She went to the Calabar region in Nigeria. The people of the Calabar, they actually believed that twins were evil, and each time a lady conceived and gave birth to twins, they were killed. The twins were killed because they thought they were evil, and she brought an awareness, and she helped abolish, you know, this barbaric act of killing twins because they thought they were evil, and so many other examples as well all over the African continent. I'm not excusing the Europeans, you know, I'm not excusing the acts of others in contributing to our problems in Africa, but all I'm saying is they did bring some good as well, you know, which we should have learned from, to be honest. Even most of the things that we enjoy today, most of the technology, it's them. You talk about even let's face fact. We talk about we want to you know, explore the world. You know, African Americans want to go back home. All this is possible, you know, because of the white man's, you know, ability to develop air travel in terms of aeroplanes and things of that nature. These people, let's face it, you know, they did a lot of evil, but they also did good. You know, they were able to, they took risks, you know. They sailed on ships, you know, tried to develop new lands, you know, tried to discover new territories, new lands, and, you know, try to expand their empires and things of that nature. Even though they were evil, even though they had evil intentions, you know, they also brought some good. And we need to stop blaming all the problems on others. We need to stop deceiving ourselves. We need to just be truthful to ourselves. The black race, we are vicious, we are hypocrites, and we always seem to thrive on pulling each other down and destroying each other. It seems that that's what we're good at. Look at most of the African countries, for example. A lot of them are more than, you know, they're more than 50 years old after independence. But if you look at most African countries today, you know, they're still in ruins. Most African countries are in shambles. Not because they weren't blessed with resources, not because they're not blessed with a lot of mineral, a lot of natural economic resources. It's just because of the greed of the black man. The greed, the hatred for each other. The selfishness. Look at most African countries. History. It's been war after war. It's been pain after pain, suffering. Look at Rwanda. Look at Congo. Look at Zimbabwe. Look at Nigeria. Look at Cameroon. Look at Liberia. The Ivory Coast. Name it. Central African Republic. Anywhere in Africa. It seems we just, you know, hell-bent on destroying each other. We never come together to make peace or try to develop. It's always clashes. It's always tension. It's always tribe against tribe. It's always this ethnic group against that ethnic group. It's always tension. It's always destroy, destroy, destroy. We need to stop blaming the white people. Fine, they did their bad, but then they left us to our own devices, but we've not simply been able to evolve. A lot of African countries, a lot of black communities, we're destroying each other. See what's happening in America. Fine, the American system is designed in a way where, you know, the black man is at a disadvantage from the start in everything, in all areas of life. They're victims, we know that. But still, look at the numbers of black on black crime. A lot of black brothers and sisters have been killed at a very, very young age. A lot of mothers, a lot of fathers burying their children because of black on black violence. Black on black gang wars. Unnecessary wars. People getting killed just because somebody stepped in a different, in a different street, on a different block. The same thing is happening in the UK. Black on black stabbings, knife crime. A lot of teenagers, dying needlessly on the streets. Their blood's being spilled on concrete jungles. Why, black people? Why? The same thing in Africa. Africa, we seem to be victims of ourselves. The worst thing to happen to an African is a fellow African. When an African man is laughing, it means his fellow African brother is in trouble. We don't embrace the truth. We keep on lying to each other and deceiving each other. A lot of African countries have not evolved many years after independence. Take my country, Nigeria, as an example. 1st of October next week, it will be 60 years since we gained independence from the British. A country blessed with so many abundant resources. Name it. What have we not got in Nigeria? Name it. We've got petroleum products. We've got crude oil. We've got a lot of mineral resources. We've got rubber. We've got we've got forests. We've got the rainforest right there. We've got so many things. Plentiful, like foods, different, just name it. What have we really got in? But still, more than 70% of Nigerians, more than 70% of 206 million people are still living in abject poverty. Why? Because of our selfish leaders, because of greed, because of corruption. Decades after decades, each government has just come in just to steal from us. Every single year, there's billions of state funds. It goes missing. There are different tribunals set up, different panels, different investigations, year after year. But then we never hear the end of it. We never hear anything, out of it. Everything is always swept, under the covers. Why, black people? Why? We're doing this to each other. We hate each other. We're selfish. We're corrupt. We're greedy. It's always about me, 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 me. I don't care if the next man hasn't eaten since last year or as long as I'm eating or I have enough, to go around. I don't care about anybody else. Why, black people? Look at Nigeria, for example. A senator, an average senator in Nigeria earns 3 times more than the American president. Facts. I'm giving you facts. Most Nigerians are suffering in poverty, but then the lawmakers and the people in government, all they do is embezzle funds, public funds, and nothing happens to them. But meanwhile, we rather kill and burn people in the streets for stealing beans and stealing gari to feed their family, hungry people. Why, people? The people that are stealing billions that should be used to develop all our infrastructure, we pamper them, we hail them during elections just because of the grains of rice that they give us. We never speak the truth. Africans, we see this is white, but then everybody will agree this is black, and then we'll say, yes, this is black. Why, my people? Why? We need to stand up. That's why in Nigeria, the Igbos are fighting for the Biafran Republic. That's why we Yorubas in Nigeria, we're fighting for the Oduduwa Republic. Because we just don't love each other. We just don't embrace each other. The Igbo man doesn't like the Yoruba man. The Yoruba man doesn't like the Igbo man. And they don't like the Hausa. The Hausa doesn't like them as well. Why, people? Even amongst the Yorubas, for example, the Ibadan man will say things about the Oyo man, even though they're both Yorubas, but then the Yoruba people still will go against each other. I'll give you a classic example. I'm from a place in Ogun State called Shagamu. I'm from a place called Makun. Just a few minutes drive from Makun, there's another community called Ofin. Just because of the history of tensions and wars between them, even sometimes I'm not able to go there except I'm with security, because people want me, and say you're a prince, you need to be on guard, you need to ensure your safety. Why? Why can't I just move in my own territory, in my own neighborhood, in my own state, in my own community? Because of hatred, because of clashes, because of tensions, because of this tribe against that tribe, because of... Why, black people? We always quick to blame the Chinese We always quick to blame the Lebanese and people that we think are taking over Africa, but we never sit down and address our governments. Everybody always has an opinion about Africa. Africa is this, Africa is that, Africa is weak, Africa is letting the Europeans come, letting people take over. But what about the African politicians, the African leaders? Do you know how much has been stolen from Nigeria since independence? Nigeria is a country which should be on par with places like Dubai, with the United Arab Emirates. The gross domestic product of Lagos State alone is bigger than that of most African countries. But today, a lot of Lagosians are still wallowing in abject poverty. Why? Because of greedy politicians like Tinubu. Tinubu that's meant to be fighting, for the cause of the Yoruba people in Nigeria, is single-handedly stealing from a whole state. And then we just turn a blind eye, and then people hail him. Why? Why, my people? Why do we do this to each other and then we blame other people? Why can't we sit down and know that the biggest problem with the black man is a fellow black man? We need to come together. We need to stop blaming others. We need to stick with the truth and look ourselves in the eyes and tell ourselves the truth. I'm tired of everybody always having an opinion about Africa. Africa is 54 countries deep. If you're going to look at an African country, look at an African country. Don't look at Africa as one big country, because we have different structures, different policies. We have different problems. Some of our problems go deeper than what you see with the naked eye. So if you have an opinion about Africa, keep it to yourself. Africa is a continent. Each country should be discussed and should be addressed on its own merit and on its own structures, on its own political structures, customs, cultures, traditions, because Africa is very delicate. The practices are different from the north to the south, to the east, to the west. I'm tired of everyone having an opinion about Africa, but then you won't even go and challenge the African governments that are maiming us and they're killing us and they're stealing from us. Most African countries, you can't even campaign against the governments. You can't speak out. You can't voice your opinions. Many people have lost their lives. A lot of activists, they've paid dearly with their lives because there's no freedom of speech in many African countries. Our leaders are thieves. They're corrupt. They embezzle funds with impunity and nothing happens to them. But then we're quick to blame the Europeans. Why is it possible for people from other countries to come over and set up shop in Africa? Don't we have elected government? Don't we have lawmakers? Why, my people? Why do we keep on deceiving and lying to each other? Why can't we just face facts? The African Americans going against Africans. Africans going against African Americans. And we're putting it out there for the world to see. How many times have I seen countless videos where black people are fighting each other and other black people are ailing them to fight each other while some are recording just to post it on social media for the whole world to see. And then we get angry when they call us primates. Have you seen, have you watched documentaries of chimpanzees in the jungle? The only way they establish order, establish hierarchy is through violence, through animalistic behavior. And we get angry when people call us animals, because that's what we show, that's what we exhibit to the world. We're beating each other up, killing each other, and then we're putting it on video for the whole world to see. And then we get angry and say, oh, everybody is against Africa, nobody likes us. Do we like each other? Do we support each other? I mean, black businesses. How many businesses do we, establish, or how many businesses do we support? We don't support our own. It's like we're always in competition. We always, we always have a rivalry with each other. It's always, I'm better than you. You're better than, we never try to come together and reach solutions to our problems. It's always everybody criticizing Africa. Africa is this, Africa is that. But then nobody seems to be able to come up with a valuable, viable solution to our problems. Everybody thinks they know, because you traveling to a few African countries doesn't make you an expert on Africa. There's a difference between visiting Africa and then being an African, living in Africa and experiencing the pain and the hardship, the daily hardship. A lot of people that go to Africa, you have your foreign passport, you can live anytime you want, but then that's not reality for a lot of African people. They have to sit down and wake up every day, with the same old, stress, tension, trouble, difficult life every day. People talking about Africans don't Africans don't practice their own religions. But do you know what it takes to practice African religions now? Because a lot of African religions are associated with evil, a lot of ritual killings. We know about the albinos being killed in Eastern Africa. We know about, in so many African countries, people getting killed, their body being chopped up, just to be able to, for other people to do rituals to make money. So why would anybody want to be associated with traditional worship? Even though people like me, we still trying to promote our culture and history, you know, our customs, our traditions, but still it's difficult. People need to understand. Stop making all these assumptions and all these criticisms of Africa, because it makes the Africans angry, and they think we're going through a lot of problems already, and now everybody's against us. And then you want them to accept you when it comes to Africa. We need to stick together as the black race and stop making excuses. We need to iron out our problems. We need to sit down and look at our problems individually. We need to stop blaming each other and stop criticizing. We have so many important issues to deal with, and people talking about why do African women wear weaves? You know, there are a lot of we have deeper issues than that. Fine, I think it's very important that we, you know, promote our culture as Africans. You know, I support natural hair and all that, but all you people criticizing African women, you know, with weaves and whatever, do you wear African clothes every day? Do you wear your Ankara? Do you wear your Kente clothes? Do you wear your Kampala, Adire? Or are you wearing European clothes, driving European cars? Even these social media, you know, platforms we use, it wasn't invented by Africans. We need to stop being hypocrites, and we need to tackle the real issues. I'm tired of everybody always having something to say without everybody having something to say. The African man is just greedy, he's just corrupt. We're ready to kill, an African man is ready to kill an African man for a grain of overcooked rice. A black man is going to kill a fellow black man for stepping on his sneakers. Why? Why that jungle mentality? We blame the white man, but then the white people still they send more money in funds to African countries than even Africans give. And then we blame them for everything. We claim we love God, the black race, especially in Africa. We claim we love God, but we never do what's right. We're so religious. We're religious fanatics, Muslims, Christians, but then we don't do what's right. We kill each other. We maim each other. We destroy each other. We don't support each other. We bring each other down. We tear each other apart, and then we blame other people. And then these other people that we blame, they're doing well. They might not believe in God, but then they're doing well because they follow principles, because they show love to each other. They're not greedy. They're not as greedy. They're greedy, but they're not as greedy as us. They're corrupt. They're not as corrupt as us. They're selfish. They're not as selfish as us. So this is just a message to the black race. We need to stand up and stop making excuses. I'm going to end up this video, so please make sure you like, share, comment, and drop your comments underneath this video, and let me know your thoughts, what you think, and share, please, and subscribe. Till next time, I'll catch you soon. I'm Oduduwa Republic, the Goka Custodian.